Okay, welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. I wanted to talk about handhelds, and in fact, the last one I ever got, which is this. This is my 3DS. Now you're thinking, my God, this is in really rough shape. Well, the case has been battered and bruised over the years. The machine itself inside is fine. And I actually fired this up when I did my 5,000 subscriber milestone video. I talked about how the very first video I did was a 3DS game. And I just thought, you know what? I haven't actually turned this on since, and I don't even know if I charged it up for that video. I want to kind of give this a very rudimentary little launch and see what state it's in, because I might actually do a few 3DS things. This has significance for me because it's the last handheld I bought. Let's just open her up here. Yeah, it's got it's got a microfiber cloth to keep it clean. I remember there being an issue when this is the Excel version came out. I don't know if you can make it out. Yeah, there's like a little mark here and here from, I don't know if you can really see that all that well. I remember when this thing came out, everybody was like, okay, you're going to make it an improvement over the first version of the 3DS, and you're not going to have scratches on the screen because that was a known thing. Well, lo and behold, little kind of rub up against marks have happened because of this edging here. I did put a protective screen on here, thank goodness, so I'm happy with that. But let's turn it on, because I haven't turned this thing on much ever. Is that it on? No, hang on. Or is it dead? I don't think so. I think Nintendo have done a very good job over the years. There we go, there's some light. Nintendo have done a very good job of maintaining good battery life on all their devices. I'll turn the volume down. Because I remember somebody did a test of probably their Game Boy Color or something. Oh, there we go. It's fired up. And how the Game Boy at that time did an incredible job. I think it was Game Boy Color. Game Boy Advance. The one that had a built-in battery pack. They were saying that like it has held on for months or years without a charge. Yeah, look at that. Pretty much a full charge sitting there. Wow. Now, there are a wide variety of games. Yeah, so that was the one that I did the video about. That was SpeedX, and that was my very first video I did on this channel. I have a ton of stuff on here, which I may or may not do videos about. But I wanted to do a little check across the ways, because some of this stuff, like for example, there's a blue dot there for Super Smash Brothers, indicating some kind of an update or there's something to do. And now that I think the 3DS store is dead, what will happen if I try to launch that? Let's open it. And there is an update. Okay, is that going to work? Let's give it a little bit of volume. Will it actually update? It shouldn't. I don't think it's going to have the ability to. Hit Y. Is that Y? There we go. So, download now from the eShop. Sure. Let's see if you can. Oh, I'm sure it's going to take some time. Yes. You're not going to be able to find the store, buddy. So what's that going to mean? Oh, well, signing into something? I thought the store was offline. I don't know if you can make that out. It's a bit bright. It's updating. I thought they turned up. Now, maybe they only turned off the eShop. And maybe you can still get updates for 3DS games? Oh, wait. There's not enough room. Okay, well. I'll come back to that, but that's interesting. It is still possible to update your games. Huh. Because this is summer 2025. Like, I thought everything 3DS was dead. In fact, let's go to the store if we can. I'll bet you can't. It's going to say something like, thank you very much for playing, but this system is no longer available, right? And we're still thinking, and we're thinking, is the store still available? Wow, I am shocked. I have $1.20 left in my, I don't know if you can make that out. I'm going to darken the screen a bit so you can see what I see. Yeah, there we go. Oh, wait a minute. I can add funds. But a lot of these screens are blank. Oh, wait a minute. It says right there. It is no longer possible to download. There we go. It is no longer possible to make purchases in Nintendo eShop for the Nintendo 3DS family of systems. It is also no longer possible to get those demos, right? To download free. Yeah, wow. So if I go to recent arrivals, let's look at new software. I'll bet it'll be blank. But they still let you in. They still say, hey, the software is currently unavailable. These will all be unavailable, won't they? Look at that. It's still loading up the icons and stuff. Update for Mario 3DS. Guardians. Wow. So they're all no longer available, but they still load all the thumbnails. That's impressive. Huh. Interesting. Okay, well, let's get out of there. And close. So interesting. You still go into the store. There's a notification up here. Let's check that out. Is that indicating there was a new theme? It should tell me there's no more themes available. Right? Theme shop. Wait. Okay, well it has loaded something. What was that notification? New theme? Well, that took a long time to load up, but there are a couple of themes left. I'm not going to bother with them, but wow. Okay, it's still alive. Theme shop is still going. That's good. Now, what else? So there's that update for Smash Brothers. If I try to do... Where's Street Pass? Where's the Street Pass thing? Because I seem to remember it would keep picking up people. That's about it. Where's the Street Pass stuff? Man, I can't even remember now. Can't find it. Oh well. Still, yeah, very impressive. Let me get the brightness back. Yeah, impressive that stuff is still going. Impressive battery is still got a lot of charge in it. Quite a nice little unit. And, to be honest, it always felt really, really good. This was my everyday carry, as they say, when my daily driver, when I went to and from work on my commute for years. Played the heck out of a lot of these games. But to be honest, then iOS started to really take off with its app store, and there was so many games that you could just play on your existing phone / iPod that I just found I wasn't really playing this thing anymore. And this became the last handheld that I ever gathered. I do have still handhelds. Like this thing has become my new favorite beast. This is the Retroid Pocket 2 Plus. And I love the heck out of this thing, play this every day. This thing has become great. But I think this is different because this is an emulation machine where I have accidentally used backups for purchased games onto the machine. So that's that one. That I use all the time. But this is also a full Android device with like podcasts and all that other kind of stuff on it. So to say that this is a handheld like this was, I don't keep this in the same mindset. This is a glorified iPod Touch for me, really. But this thing was a gaming handheld, and it was really good for the time that it lived. And I just thought I would revisit it because it had so many great things. I had to turn the slider down. If I try to turn the slider up, it's gonna mess with the camera and you're not gonna be able to see. I was always very impressed that the 3D effect did work. It didn't seem like it should on paper, and then I was in Heathrow Airport of all places. They had a little game shop there, and I walked up and they had this the original first version of the 3DS there with demo going. I slid the slider up and I was like, oh my god, they managed to do it. You've got 3D without glasses. And not enough games really made use of that in a way that I liked. Not enough coverage of people. People didn't seem to like the 3D effect all that much, so it became kind of a dead moot point. And I don't really disagree. And of course, for me, the classic for the 3DS has got to be... because I just love playing Chun-Li in 3D. So that has become... that was sort of the reason I wanted to get a 3DS, and that's what I did. But yeah, no, there is my device, and I think this is a very cool bit of kit. Is it retro? Are we at the point now where we're saying that the 3DS family is so far in the past now that it's actually retro? I know a lot of people struggle with the Wii or the original DS being considered retro. And heck, you go even further back. Some people still struggle to call the PlayStation 2 retro. So I don't know where this exists in people's mindset. The store is still alive to the point I can sign into it. I can get the latest update for Super Smash Brothers. So I don't think this counts as retro yet. But maybe? I don't know. And I'm interested to see if this has much cachet with the viewership these days. If people want to see me do 3DS games, please comment. Let me know. I'm curious to hear what you all think. Do you consider the 3DS retro, or do you want me to just ignore it because it's still a modern handheld? Much like my old Retroid Pocket here, which is a really, really cool machine that I really, really love, that can do all of the stuff that I ever wanted. More so than this, to be perfectly honest. I was kind of disappointed Nintendo didn't address the kind of games I was interested in. Pinball, retro arcade games, whatever. Anyway, gonna leave it there. That is my Nintendo 3DS. It's still kicking after all these years, and I'm very impressed that it still does what it needed to do. All right, well, I'm gonna leave it there. So until next time, I'll see you down the rabbit hole.